What's up guys, this is iTweaks here with iPhoneHacks.com, and today I'm going to be doing the best tweaks of the week. Now this past week there weren't a whole lot of tweaks that were released since my last video, so this is going to be a pretty short video. But what I went ahead and did was grab a tweak that's up and coming that hasn't been released just yet, so make sure you stick around for that preview. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first tweak I want to show you guys is called Equalarm. Now what this tweak does is basically give you an equation when your alarm goes off that you have to solve in order to dismiss that alarm. So you can't just hit that snooze button and then go back to sleep. You actually have to solve an equation before you can tap the snooze. So you can see right here, if we open up our settings, this is the Equalarm settings. Make sure that it is enabled, and you have 4 levels of difficulty. So if we tap on difficulty, you can see you have easy, medium, hard, and insane. Of course, hard and insane are a little bit harder than easy and medium. So you can see right here, if we just go over here and we tap on test alarm for easy, then it's going to be an easy equation. So that's just 14. We'll tap check and dismiss. Now if we go back here, we go back to difficulty and tap on medium. It's going to be a little bit harder, but not too difficult. So you can see right here, this is just 50. So we'll tap check, dismiss, and then it's going to get a little bit more difficult. You're going to get some more parentheses that you're going to have to deal with. So you have 12 times 12 minus 133. So that's 144 minus 133, which would be 11. So we'll tap check right there and dismiss it. And then of course if you go to insane, then it gets a whole lot more difficult. So if we tap test alarm right here, you have 14 times 8 minus 93, which is going to be 80, which 81, 12 minus 93, which would be 19. We'll try that. Okay, so you can dismiss it right there. But the insane difficulty is obviously a little bit harder than you're going to get on the other 4, but that's basically how this tweak works. Next up we have Colorful Keyboard Pro. Now this is a 99-cent tweak, and basically what it does is change up the color of your keyboard randomly. So you don't really get to set what you want the keyboard to look like. It's just a random every time that you populate the keyboard. So you can see right here, if we pull down the spotlight, you'll notice that we have a random keyboard right here. And if we open up the notes, you can see that we get a completely different keyboard. So it looks kind of cool. It's a little bit vibrant and a little bright for me, but it can look good depending on your theme of your phone. Now you can see if you start to type, you'll notice the highlight is actually a different color as well every time that you type one of the keys. Now there are some settings here that you can configure. So if we go over here to Colorful Keyboard Pro, open that up, you can see that you have enabled this, so make sure that you have this enabled if you want it enabled. Then you have enabled quick settings on the keyboard, which wasn't really working for me, and you can't really enable the background image either. If you do that, if you try to, then you'll see if we, let's just say we were gonna apply that for my background keyboard, the app actually crashes. So that's something that you can't really mess with right now. It's kind of bugged, so hopefully that's going to be fixed in a future update. But then coming down here, you have some sliders that you can manage. You have the hue degrees min max, the brightness min max, and the saturation. So really the one that I've messed with quite a bit is the saturation. You can actually make the colors a whole lot softer. So if we do that and then we go out, then you'll notice that when we go into our notes and we pull this up, it's going to be a little bit softer colors right here. So you can see a faded green, faded blue, faded yellow. And let's just go in here and let's move it up just a little bit. And let's go back in here. And you can see they're a little bit softer than it was when I first came in the Notes app, but still you can mess with the settings in there and then kind of get it how you like. And last but not least, we have a preview of an upcoming tweak called Quick Music. So you can see right here that once you set your activator gesture, I've set mine to tap and hold on the status bar. You can see that we get a banner right up here at the top that's basically showing that I'm playing Always in My Head by Coldplay. And of course you have the play pause button right there. And once you pause it, that music information actually scrolls up. So you only have the play and the next and the previous buttons right there. So if we tap play again, it should go ahead and pull down right there. And then we can actually pull down this little grabber, which is a little bit difficult to grab. It has a pretty small hitbox, so just keep that in mind if you're trying to pull it down and it's not. Just make sure you're kind of right on it to pull it down. You also notice that we have the album art cover right here, of course, and what we're playing it through, which is the music app. So we can tap to the right and it should go to the next song or the next podcast, depending on what you have in your music library right there. And then of course you can always just swipe it back up just like that. Now you can also just swipe to the left just like that, and it's going to show you your entire library that you can scroll through right here. You also have a search bar right up here at the top if you want to search through your library. My library is pretty small on this iPhone, so you can just tap on one of these and it's just going to start playing just like that. So that's pretty awesome. Now you have some settings in here, so if we go to settings, make sure that it is enabled, and then you're going to tap on configuration. So here you have your setup. This is actually the intro page, what you're going to get when you first open up the settings menu. So we're not going to go through that right now. But you have the album art cover, so if you want that on, just toggle it on. You also have albums cover squared, so you can change it from the rounded corners that it has to a squared look. So we'll go ahead and do that. You also have cloud music, which I don't really use, so I don't have that toggled on. And you have activator gesture, so if you want to change the activator gesture or set it, then this is where you're going to do it. You also can change up the blur, so we have quite a few different blur types right here. Let's go ahead and do the ultra dark just to show you kind of the contrast of what I have right now. You can also change the tint color for the quick music, so if we tap on that, then we can do, let's do a blue right there. And then right down here you have text font color, so if we change that to gray, actually let's change it to white. So now let's go ahead and activate it. So we'll tap and hold again, and you can see that we have a dark, very dark quick music tweak, and then we can pull down because we have the blue font color, and that's going to actually put a border around the album art cover too, which we have pointed corners rather than rounded now. So a pretty cool tweak. Definitely recommend checking this out. It does have a few bugs. It sometimes isn't very responsive, so keep that in mind. You might want to wait for the first update for this tweak. But let me know what you guys think about all these tweaks in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more jailbreak tweaks, as well as videos on everything Apple, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, until next time, peace.